Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to answer a viewer's question, which probably a lot of people will think about. And as you can tell from the title, it's called Base Buttons 101. So we're going to talk a little bit about these guys. These are the little buttons, and I'm going to get a better view of these for you. And let me just get to the question. The question is, I have neuropathy in my fingers, which means, if any of you don't know what that means, it means you've lost the feeling. You can have it in your feet, your fingers, in your extremities. But anyway, this viewer is having trouble finding recessed button for example, C major. It is a little tough to find. If you don't have the feeling in your fingers, it's going to be tough. And the question goes on, I think I read somewhere that Roland recessed cover caps are available to fit over the existing buttons to make them larger. Can you or any of your viewers help? Well, I'm going to put a call out to my viewers. If anyone has a better solution or to this, please put it in the comments down below. To get started, I did some research and I could not find any oversized buttons for the Roland. That does not mean that they don't exist. It means I couldn't find them anywhere. However, I do have a solution. Now, I also found where you can buy extra buttons, and I'm going to talk about something else here in a moment, but I want to stay focused on the viewer's question. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, you know, a lot of accordions, you have one of two choices. Either the recess button, picked up the wrong one, either having a recess button or having a gem. Okay, it depends on the manufacturer. My preference, I've had accordions with both. My preference is the divot, the recess. But the gem works well also. So unfortunately, Roland doesn't make any of those. You have three options. Okay, you have concave, ridged, and convex. Most of the buttons are the convex. Your keys are marked, so C major is with the recessed, and oftentimes you could put the ridge buttons, and I don't know if you can actually see the ridges in there. I don't think you can. The ridges are other ones, and you can, you know, what's really nice is Roland sends you spares. Okay, and there's some of each. Now, as you can see here, if you need to buy these, I did find Liberty Bellows in Philadelphia sells them. At the time of this recording, they were selling them for $2.99 each. And there's a little funny story to that. I was talking to my wife about this, and I was telling her, they're the buttons are $2.99 each, and we were talking a little bit more, and I was like, you know, that seems pretty expensive for just these little piece of plastic. And she said, how much are they again? I said, $2.99. Oh, she said, Oh, I thought it was $299. $2.99. That's not bad. Like for each one, and then she pointed out to me, you know what? Somebody's got to make them. So, and then Liberty Bellows has to buy them, and then they need to make something. So, actually, it's really not that bad if you're replacing one or two. If you are trying to do something like change the design on your accordion, like so, for example, I have a FR-1x. That accordion comes with a V on the bass side. I wanted to make it a little different, so I designed a pattern for it that you see on any of my videos that I play, any of the newer videos I play. Now, I have an advantage. Roland sent me spares with my 8X. They sent me spares with my 1X. So I had those spares to work with, plus I could take buttons from one to put onto the other so I could do the design. So I didn't actually have to buy any extra buttons. But that's neither here nor there. That's another story. So they come in either black or white. Now, getting to the answer, the only thing I can tell you is I rated my wife's jewelry, and we actually she does custom jewelry. It's actually drkbeads.com, and I kind of raided her stash, and I found these because these buttons are approximately 7 millimeters, approximately 7 millimeters across. So what I'm going to suggest is creating a gem. So for example, if you take and you get one of these packs, and you can get these at firemountain.com, and glue it on. Let me try to get that to focus on it. There we go. And glue it on. Then as you go over it, the height difference, I don't know if that will actually help, but it's worth a try. Now, how do you get this onto this? Well, it's a flat back, and trying to get that on with that concave, the beauty is the edge is level. So you could glue. My wife has suggested, and she does a lot of jewelry, she suggests hot glue. I've looked it up, and they're recommending an E6000 glue. I don't know. I would try hot glue first, because you can always peel it off, and that's something everybody has. But you could try something like that. So that's going to be my suggestion, is to actually make something from one of your spare buttons, because you have spare buttons. But I think that's going to be the suggestion I'm going to say, is to do that. The other thing on these buttons, if you get something like that from Fire Mountain, and I'm going to probably show you that, the convex ones, if you were to sand that down to make it flat, that might give you more surface area to glue. And these buttons are all interchangeable. So you could try simply sanding that down and then gluing the gem on it. to give you, and actually as you're coming across, you would hit it, and that's one way of telling where you are. Anyway, if anyone else has a better solution, please put it down in the comments. And while you're down there, please hit the like and subscribe. And keep playing.